this is Angela. We all know how important it is to have good posture in our everyday movements. Very often though, we do things in a certain way out of habit, and it could be that we're doing things the same way for weeks, months, years at a time without even realizing that we're doing it. And it may not be that we get injured, in one straight move, but over time we start to pick up niggles, or we find that we can't shake a certain niggle somewhere in our body. And often it is because we're exacerbating it without even knowing in our day-to-day movements. So in this video, I'll be showing you a few day-to-day moves, showing perhaps how people do them wrong without even realizing it, and offering you some options to do them better, and hopefully in a way that will be better for your posture and keep you safer in the long term.
Our first scenario is getting in and out of a car. And if you just have a look at that knee as I come out, see how it's at a funny angle to the foot, so it's on a bit of a slant, and at that point I'm just putting all my body weight on that joint which is not well aligned, and that can lead to long-term issues with your knees. A better option is to just rotate your body around using your core and your obliques, and then just pushing yourself out of the car with both feet at the same time. When you're going to sit in a car, rather than just bringing one foot into the footwell and then sliding across, again, better off just sitting down and then rotating your feet and your legs around. Now, in this scenario, we're doing the typical, lifting and getting the backache. Now, it's not necessarily the fact that you're hinged over that's the issue here. I mean, obviously bending your knees is a better option, but it's the fact that we don't use our core. So we need to make sure our back is protected anytime our body is at an angle. So keeping that core switched on will really help your back to, to take some of the strain off it. Again, in this situation, we're forward leaning. There's a lot of strain on that lower back. It's also very difficult to pull in this situation because we're not very well balanced. And many people tend to isolate and just use the shoulder muscles to try and, use their back to stabilize them. And that's where you get a lot of shoulder or rotator cuff injuries. A better option is to get yourself a little bit more low on the ground, putting one knee down. That way, if you're a bit more stable, you can use more of your whole body to pull, so you're not just isolating those four little rotator cuff muscles in your shoulders. As you can see, I've got a lot of weeding to do there, so I might just go inside instead. And, oh goodness, my posture's not very good here. As you can see, the head is completely forward, the chin is forward. There's definitely, a lot of flexion there in the back. It's not in neutral. And the screen is a little bit too low for me as well. But yeah, a lot of issues. But tell you what, try this, Angela. Put some glasses on. Quite often it's the fact that we're short-sighted as we get older and we don't even realize it. And so we end up trying to get closer and closer to the computer screen. If the laptop is a little bit too low, we tend to slouch backwards to bring ourselves lower without even thinking about it, trying down to that same level, and that can put a lot of strain on the back. This can also be laziness, of course, as well. So another option is to just lift that laptop up, get it a little bit higher, or just adjust your table or your chair just so that you're in a better position, so that you're looking more across to the laptop rather than having to sort of, bend your neck or hunch forward in order to look down. In the kitchen now, at this counter, you may be able to see that my right hip is leaning against the counter. And in that position, I've got a little bit of rotation on that side of the body, and I'm also tilting my pelvis. And I have had an injury from doing this, so it's much better and much less lazy to stand tall when you're doing it. Again, if you need glasses, you should be wearing them to do this, because otherwise you may find that you're leaning forward too much in order to be able to see what you're doing on the counter. So that will help to bring you up a little bit taller and setting yourself up so that you're in that neutral spine position.
I hope you found some of these scenarios of use to you, and hopefully it'll make you question how you do things the next time you either get in and out of a car or you sit at a desk to do something on your computer. Do drop me a line and let me know if you found that interesting, or you can leave a comment below, and please make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next time.